Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Sanmata is Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining chanting Prabhupada call. So let us begin with Mangalacharana prayer and go to our readings. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, entitled as 5 Features of Lord Sri Chaitanya. 5 Features of Lord Sri Chaitanya. That is chapter 7. Adi Leela, chapter 7. Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. So you are able to see my screen, right? Prabhuji Sanmata is?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you for confirming. Okay. So let us go to from this verse. Last time we read up to 91 verse. So let me read this. See, actually it's a beautiful verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nacho gao bhakta sange kara sankirtana Krishna nama upadeshi tara sarva jana. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear child, continue dancing, chanting and performing sankirtana in association with devotees. Furthermore, go out and preach the value of chanting Krishna nama. For by this process, you will be able to deliver all fallen souls. Purport. It is another ambition of the spiritual master to see his disciples not only chant, dance, and follow the regulative principles, but also preach the Sankirtan movement to others in order to deliver them. For the Krishna consciousness movement is based on the principle that one should become as perfect as possible in devotional service oneself and also preach the cult for others' benefit. There are 2 classes of unalloyed devotees, namely Goshtyanandis and Bhajananandis. Bhajananandi refers to one who is satisfied to cultivate devotional service for himself, and Goshtyanandis is one who is not satisfied simply to become perfect himself, but wants to see others also take advantage of the holy name of the Lord and advance its spiritual life. The outstanding example is Prahlad Maharaj. Yesterday we celebrated Lord Narasimhadeva's birthday. So, see, cult, he is preaching, spreading the Nama Sankirtana. It's called Goshtyanandis. Bhajananandi means selfish, for his own deliverance. Goshtyanandi is for himself as well as for others also. Remember the word Goshtyanandis and Bhajananandi. Goshtyanandi is more it's a proper situated. When he was offered a benediction by Lord Narasimhadev,
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji. Prabhuji, that Bhajananandi, right? When we had that class, right, he said Bhajananandi comes like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji.
Okay. Yeah. Some Baba is yes. Some Baba is there. It's different mode. Bhajananandi refers to one who is satisfied.
Our this Babaji na Guru Parampara, right? Gaur Kishore Das Babaji.
That's what I'm saying. Correct. So Babajis are Bhajanandis because they cannot go out and preach. No? They sit in one place and they do their own bhajan.
Okay.
They don't bhajan. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
First one who is satisfied to cultivate devotional service. It's a different mood, Prabhu. Cannot find anything. So, yeah,
Got it, Prabhu.
Goshen is for himself as well as going out for preaching. For example, Srila Prabhupada. Just take an example. And Lord again is a spiritual master. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Prabhupada started ISKCON, but before that, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati started 64 Gaudiya Matters. Purpose is to give the knowledge and with the knowledge, help them to get out of this material miserable world. Okay, Prabhu. This is a Prahlad Maharaj prayer. When he was offered a benediction by Lord Narasimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj said, Naivodvije paraduratyaya vaitaranyas twadvirya gayana mahamrita magna chittaha sochetato vimukta chetasa indriyartha maya sukhaya bharam udvahato vimudhan. So, meaning of this verse. My dear Lord, I have no problems and want no benediction from you, because I am quite satisfied to chant your holy name. This is sufficient for me, because whenever I chant, I immediately merge in an ocean of transcendental bliss. I only lament to see others bereft of your love. They are rotting in material activities for transient material pleasure. Transient means it's temporary, volatile. Volatile means transient and volatile. These are words cannot stay forever. Just temporary. Transient material pleasure and spoiling their lives, toiling all day and night simply for sense gratification. With no attachment, no attachment for love of God. I am simply lamenting for them and devising various plans to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. Bhagavatam 7.9.43. Yeah, I'll give it to Mataji. Yeah. Samyukta Mataji or Lavanya Mataji, you want to read? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad.
No, would you like to read? Go ahead, read.
Please continue, Mataji. After you, I'll read.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura explains in his Anubhyasa, a person who has attracted the attention of the spiritual master by his sincere service, like to dance and chant with similarly developed Krishna conscious devotees. The spiritual master authorizes such a devotee to deliver fallen souls in all parts of the world. Those who are not advanced prefer to chant the Hare Krishna mantra in a solitary place. Such activities constitute, in the language of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, a type of cheating process, in the sense that they imitate the activities of exalted personalities like Haridasa Thakura. One should not attempt to imitate such exalted devotees. Rather, everyone should endeavor to preach the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all parts of the world, and thus become successful in spiritual life. One who is not very expert in preaching may chant in a secluded place, avoiding bad association, but for one who is actually advanced preaching and meeting people who are not engaged in devotional service are not disadvantages. A devotee gives the non-devotee his association, but is not affected by their misbehavior. Thus, by the activities of a pure devotee, even those who are bereft of love of Godhead get a chance to become devotees of the Lord one day. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura advises that one discuss the verse in Srimad Bhagavatam beginning, Naitat Samachare Jatu Manasapihi Aniswaraha 10.33.30 and the following verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255. Anasakya Vishayan Yataraham Upayanchataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. One should not imitate the activities of great personalities. One should be detached from material enjoyment and should accept everything in connection with Krishna service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna. Two important connected points Prabhupada mentioned here. Anasaktesya Vishayan Yutarthan Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. One should not imitate the activities of great personalities. Two things, Anukarana, Anusarana. Anukarana means imitation. Anusarana means following their instructions. One should be detached from material enjoyment and should accept everything in connection with Krishna. What is it saying? Depend on Krishna and use properly our senses. Yes. Go ahead, Lavanya. Read this. Lavanya, are you there?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Translation and prepared by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Saying this, my spiritual master taught me a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the essence of all Bhagavatam instructions. Therefore, he recited this verse again and again. Purport. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 40th verse, was spoken by Sri Narada Muni to Vyasadeva to teach him about Bhagavata Dharma. Vasudeva had already achieved the results of Bhagavata Dharma because Lord Krishna appeared in his house as his son. Yet, in order to teach others, he desired to hear from Sri Narada Muni to be enlightened in the process of Bhagavata Dharma. This is the humbleness of a great devotee.
So 11 to 40. This verse from 11 to 40. Eta bali eka sloka sikhala mur Bhagavatera sare hai bala vare vare. So 11 to 40. Just want to refer. 1 second. Read this, please. Recite this.
एवं वृता स्वप्रिया नाम कृत्या जातानुरागो धृतचित्तवुच्चा हसाति अतो रोदिति रौति गायति उन्मादावानुयति लोकबह्या. By chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of God. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord, and he gradually becomes very much attached to the particular name and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he laughs very loudly or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings and dances like a madman, for he is indifferent to public opinion.
So Prabhupada writes here, no? Bhagavata Dharma. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11 to 40 was spoken by Sri Narada Muni to Vyasadeva to teach him about Bhagavata Dharma. So Bhagavata Dharma is to chant the holy names of the Lord and love of God, by doing those activity, we get the love of God.
Yeah.
Get the love of God, of course. Yeah, ultimately. The same. Okay. So next verse only. He put that from Bhagavatam. Just now we read, no? Evam Swapriya Nama Kirtya Jatanurago Tutachitta Uchai Asati Ato Roditi Rauti Gayanti Roditi crying Rauti becomes agitated Gayati chants Unmada means Unmada like a madman Nrityati dance Unmada one Nrityati Loka Bahya dancing Loka Bahya. It's in different level. See, they forget about their bodies, they forget about their this world. They are completely in the transcendental ocean of bliss. Prabhupada writes frequently, transcendental ocean of bliss. That's ultimately prema pumartan, love of God. So that are the symptoms. Okay. Saraswati Mataji, I'm seeing Saraswati Mataji. Would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead and read.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I firmly believe in these words of my spiritual master, and therefore I always chant the holy name of the Lord, alone and in the association of devotees. The holy name of Lord Krishna sometimes causes me to chant and dance, and therefore I chant and dance. Please do not think that I intentionally do it. I do it automatically. Purport. A person who cannot keep his faith in the words of his spiritual master, but acts independently, never receives the authority to chant the holy name of the Lord. It is said in the Vedas, Sweta Swatara Upanishad 6.23, Yasya Deve Parabhaktir Yatha Deve Tata Gurau Tasyaite Katita Hi Artaha Prakashante Mahatmanaha. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of the Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. This Vedic injection is very important, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu supported it by his personal behavior. Believing in the words of his spiritual master, he introduced the Sankirtana movements, just as the present Krishna conscious movement was started with belief in the words of our spiritual master. He wanted to preach, we believe in his words, and tried somehow or other to fulfill them. And now this movement has become successful all over the world. Therefore, faith in the words of spiritual master and the supreme personality of Godhead is the secret of success. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never disobeyed the order of his spiritual master and stopped propagating the Sankirtana movement. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami, at the time of his passing away, ordered all his disciples to work conjointly to preach the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. Later, however, some self-interested, foolish disciple disobeyed his order. Each one of them wanted to become head of the mission, and they fought in the courts, neglecting the order of the spiritual master, and the entire mission was defeated. We are not proud of this. However, the truth must be explained. We believed in the words of our spiritual master.
Sorry, correct. Yeah.
Yes,
Only the one.
we are not proud of this. However, the truth must be explained. We believed in the words of our spiritual master and started in a humble way, in a helpless way. But due to the spiritual force of the order of the supreme authority, this movement has become successful.
Thank you, Mataji. Let us give it to other devotees. Thank you for reading, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Very, very important verse. We see in this IDC also, Yasya Deve Parabhaktir Yata Deve Tata Guru Tasyaite Katitahi Artaha Prakashante Mahatmanaha. Svetashvatara Upanishad 6.23. Meaning is, we have to implicit faith in two personalities, Supreme Personality of Godhead and our spiritual master. Then everything will be revealed. That means we have all the Vedic information, Vedic knowledge, everything will be understood with their mercy. Yes, thank you, Mataji. I'll give to this one. Raju Prabhu, please continue reading. Or Praveen Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
It is to be understand that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted and danced, it is so by the influence of the pleasure potency of the spiritual world. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never considered the holy name of the Lord to be material vibration, nor does any pure devotee mistake the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra to be material musical manifestation. Lord Chaitanya never tried to be master of the holy name. Rather, he taught us how to be servant of the holy name. If one chants the holy name of the Lord just to make a show, not knowing the secret of success, he may increase his by secretion, but he will never attain perfection in chanting the holy name. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented himself in this way: I am a great fool and do not have knowledge of right and wrong. In order to understand the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra, I never followed the explanation of the Shankara Sampradaya or Mayavadi sannyasis. I am very, very much afraid of the illogical arguments of the Mayavadi philosophers. Therefore, I think I have no authority regarding their explanations of the Vedanta Sutra. I firmly believe that simply chanting the holy name of the Lord can remove all misconceptions of the material world. I believe that simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can attain the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. In this age of quarrel and disagreement, the chanting of holy names is the only way to liberation from the material clutches. Can I continue, Prabhuji? By chanting the holy name, Lord Chaitanya continued, I became the almost mad. However, after inquiring from my spiritual master, I have come to the conclusion that instead of striving for achievement in the four principles of religiosity, dharma, economic development, artha, sense gratification, karma, and liberation, moksha, it is better if somehow or other one develops transcendental love of God. That is the greatest success in life. One who has attained love of Godhead chants and dances by his nature, not caring for the public. This stage of life known as the Bhagavata Jivana, or the life of a devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I never chanted and danced to make a artificial show. I dance and chant because I firmly believe in the words of my spiritual master. Although Mayavadi philosophers do not like the chanting and dancing, I nevertheless perform on the strength of his words. Therefore, it is to be concluded that I deserve my very little credit for these activities of chanting and dancing, for they are being done automatically for the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Right. Thank you, Prabhu. When we in the association of devotees, we do kirtan, sound vibration attracts to dance. That is the purity of the sound vibration. It's not a material sound vibration, right? It's in relation with Krishna. The sound vibration, the holy name, and Krishna, no difference. In the association of devotees, why we dance? Because of the purity, it attracts the sound vibration. That's Krishna. We are dancing for the pleasure of Krishna, not make a show. It's a natural. Yes. Praveen Prabhu, please continue reading from this verse, 97 verse.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Compared to the ocean of transcendental bliss that one tastes by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the pleasure derived from impersonal Brahman realization, Brahmananda, is like the shallow water in a canal. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.138, it is stated, Brahmanando bhavade esa cheta paradhaguni kritaha neti bhakti sukha bodhya paramanu tulam api. The Brahmananda, the transcendental bliss derived from understanding impersonal Brahman, were multiplied 1,000,000 times. Such a quantity of Brahmananda could not compare with even an atomic portion of the pleasure relished in pure devotional service. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's beyond Brahmananda. Pure devotional service is beyond that. Yeah. They were not read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Aryan Prabhu, you are here. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Translation. My dear Lord, O Master of the Universe, since I have directly seen you, my transcendental bliss has taken the shape of a great ocean. Being situated in that ocean, I now realize all other so-called happiness to be like the water contained in the hoofprint of a calf. Purport. The transcendental bliss enjoyed in pure devotional service is like an ocean, whereas material happiness and even the happiness to be derived from the realization of impersonal Brahman are just like the water in the hoofprint of a calf. This is a verse from the Hari Bhakta Sudhodaya 14.36. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So the same example which gives in two perspectives of hoofprint of a calf. This material miseries can easily cross, just like crossing the hoofprint of a calf. When we follow the devotional practices, devotional service to the Lord, right? The same example here given, material pleasures, so-called material pleasures be like water contained in the hoofprint of a calf. It's temporary. Same example, applies to different perspectives. Let me read this one. It's 99 verse. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After hearing Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Mayavadi sannyasis were moved. Their minds changed, and thus they spoke with pleasing words. Purport. The Mayavadi sannyasis met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Varanasi to criticize the Lord regarding his participation in the Sankirtan movement, which they did not like. This demoniac nature of opposition to the Sankirtan movement perpetually exists, as it is existed in the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, it existed long before that, even in the time of Prahlad Maharaj. He used to chant in Sankirtana, although his father did not like it. And that was the reason for the misunderstanding between the father and son. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.15, the Lord says, Namam Drishkritino Mudha Prapadyante Naradhama Maya Ya Pahruta Jnana Asarim Bhava Marshita. Yeah. Lavanya, please read. Namam Drishkritino Mudha Prapadyante Naradhama Maya Ya Pahruta Jnana Asarim Bhava Marshita. It's a beautiful verse from Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. These are the things. What he is saying? Those miscreants were grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, Chandala, Daridru, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons. Do not surrender unto me. Complete these two paragraphs. Are you there? Hare Krishna.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Madhavi, please. Yes, read.
Sorry for joining late.
How are you,
Then-
Madhavi? It seems you sick. It seems. How are you?
Yeah, not so well, Prabhuji. I'm sick.
Would you like to read? Still.
Yeah, I'm okay. The Mayavadi sannyasis are Asuram Bhavam Ashrita, which means that they have taken the path of the Asuras, demons, who do not believe in the existence of the form of the Lord. The Mayavadis say that the ultimate source of everything is impersonal, and in this way they deny the existence of God. Saying that there is no God is direct denial of God, and saying that God exists but has no head, legs, or hands and cannot speak, hear, or eat is a negative way of denying his existence. A person who cannot see is called blind, one who cannot walk is called lame, one who has no hands is called helpless, and one who cannot speak is called dumb, and one who cannot hear is called deaf. The Mayavadi's proposition that God has no legs, no eyes, no ears, and no hands is an indirect way of insulting him by defining him as blind, deaf, dumb, lame, helpless, etc. Therefore, although they present themselves as great Vedantists, they are factually Maya Aparita Jnana. In other words, they seem to be very learned scholars, but the essence of their knowledge has been taken away. Impersonalist Mayavadis always try to defy Vaishnavas because Vaishnavas accept the Supreme Personality of the Supreme as the supreme cause and want to serve him, talk with him, and see him, just as the Lord is also eager to see his devotees and talk, eat, and dance with them. These personal exchanges of love do not appeal to the Mayavadi sannyasis. Therefore, the original purpose of the Mayavadi sannyasis of Banaras in meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to defeat his personal conception of God, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. However, as a preacher, turned the minds of the Mayavadi sannyasis. They were melted by the sweet words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and thus became friendly and spoke to him also in sweet words. Similarly, all preachers will have to meet opponents, but they should not make them more inimical. They are already enemies. And if we talk with them harshly or impolitely, their enmity will merely increase. We should therefore follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as far as possible and try to convince the opposition by quoting from the Shastras, presenting the conclusion of the Acharyas. It is in this way that we should try to defeat all the enemies of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you for reading. We'll stop here. Yeah. Yeah, Mayavadis always comes to satsang and they want to say their own understanding. No, it's Mayavadi means they understand Krishna is. They won't believe personal form of love. That's their problem. They incomplete understanding. Like God is energy. God is no form. We merge into Brahman effulgence. That's it. That is the ultimate thing. But as devotees, we understand Krishna is a personal form, Shama Sundara, Tribhanga form. You see in the Vrindavan pastimes, and that's where we worship Radha Krishna. See, Archa Vigraha form to establish our personal connection with Krishna. So devotees believe in both ways. Devotees understood yes, Krishna is impersonal also. Nirguna, Nirakara also. Personal is more effective to exchange loving relationship with Krishna. Yeah, we'll stop here. I'll put this in the group. Read all the 14 verses from this week onwards. Only this week we'll continue in the morning, and I'm planning to do next week onwards in the nights. We'll do some other devotees also will join, and they may take benefit from reciting in the night also. So only morning. This week only we'll do all 14 verses in the morning. Next week onwards we'll do in the nights around 8:30 like that. 8:30 to 9.
Prabhuji, we have test this Saturday, na?
No. 29. We have time.
Okay.
29.
Okay.
29 they said. Okay. 29 and 27. Let me see. 28 and 29 both days, Saturday, Sunday. Okay.
And what about third part, Prabhuji, 13 to 18? The last one, 13 to 18, is again postponed.
4 weeks from
June
there.
June end.
Achha, June. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Those dates were changed.
Okay, Prabhuji, if you have that schedule, can you please forward?
Yeah, it's there in the working group. Actually, I made it. I'll put it there. I'll tag again. Okay. I will tag.
Okay.
Yeah. Let us do. I will read all the 14 slokas. I am checking time. How much time? Maybe 7 minutes. Every 1 minute, 2 words, I think. Let me see. I wanted to put timer. This is the first time I'm doing 14 verses. Let us see. Stopwatch. Okay. After that, 3 Prabhus, 3 Mataris, whoever likes to do it, then I'll put it in slide mode.